Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the PLA podcast. I have an incredible guest here that I'm truly looking forward to interviewing and sharing her incredible story with you all. Deepa, Pakal, welcome to the PLA podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Dunya, for giving this opportunity and calling me in to your podcast.
It's a true treat to have you on here. And I feel like this is going to be such a heartwarming conversation that we're going to get to have. And this exploration throughout time and transformation of everything you've been through and who you have become, which is a beautiful intention that we set pre recording, which is amazing. I'm truly looking forward to it.
Mm.
Wanted
Thank
to take
you.
It's such a pleasure. I wanted to take a moment and formally introduce you to our audience and really let them get a glimpse into your story. So, welcome to Deepa Pakal, born and raised in Hyderabad, in South India's major cultural and tech hub. She holds a bachelor degree in civil engineering and went to complete her master's in structural engineering with a minor in programming from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. She began her career as a software engineer working on content management platforms with the legal publishing space. Later transitioned into the consumer healthcare sector, supporting R&D as a business relationship manager and solution engineer. She continued evolving into the pharmaceutical industry and currently serves as an IT product group manager at Johnson & Johnson, focused on drug discovery and development. Based in central New Jersey, married for 26 years to her husband Venkat, and a proud parent of two young adults, Anisha and Ishan, and a dog mom to Oliver. Outside of work, she enjoys gardening and solving thousand-piece puzzles and taking on home improvement projects as a beautiful, well-rounded individual. So lovely to have you on here, Deepa.
Thank you, Dunya. Thank you. I think the introduction was so amazing. I was like reflecting my whole life when you're introducing that. Yeah.
I've said this so often on the PLA podcast, but it's one of my favorite moments on the podcast, even though it's the very beginning and we haven't dove right in. It's this piece where, you get to explore as a speaker and as a guest, your own journey and everything you've been through that has led you here in this moment.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd love to know looking back now as we reflect on these years and these different projects and these different phases of your career, what is something you wish someone had told you at the very beginning that, you've learned and discovered throughout the years and exploration?
Yeah. I think if if I have to look back and think about what the journey, I think I would say it starts from college. I wish I knew that college is a place not to be like structured and just check marks thing, but it is a place to explore and learn. Apart from just getting the degree, it's about learning and reflecting about yourself, learning soft skills, being adventurous. That's one part I wish I knew it. I miss that golden opportunity, and I would say younger people to enjoy that college pre years where you can explore and it's okay to make mistakes. And then also like in an earlier career, it's about not locking down and being confined. Okay, this is my degree, so I want to do just this one. Being very picky and narrow down, but be open to explore and learn new things and figure out where your passion leads to in the career, and not getting fixed to one thing. Be open and explore all different careers and possibilities. That's what I would advise. It's too early to lock down because whole life is full of so many opportunities and to explore them. Yeah.
I love that, your share actually spans on both like the professional side and the personal side and has a very similar tone of this openness and exploration, almost like being more open to adventure, to trying things out, to getting a taste for these different facets. because life is really, like you said, an invitation to so many opportunities and experiences and explorations. And it is, like you said, a golden time, a golden opportunity in those years, in those prime years at the very beginning, to not get caught in this little niche and so specific from the very start, but to maybe be a little bit more curious and open-minded.
Yes, yes. Like example, if I say, if you're in undergrad in a spring break, go for a new country and the
Mm,
language you don't know. Go explore that place and do a hike or something like that, 2 day hike, which you, if you have never done it, and if you're physically fit, go for it. Or in a new company, you might be working, you're doing your day-to-day tasks, but go do something across the enterprise or across something initiative happening. Go do that if your passion is there, like any cross collaboration effort, volunteer work which the company offers, or anything like that. Or pick up an art class along with doing your work.
what also comes up as you're sharing, and then I want to ask you a question based on that. But what I'm thinking also is, by being open through these explorations, probably the brain, the mind would also have a different way of thinking and experiencing life, which may actually serve us in our work and in our career, to just be exposed to these different ideas, these different ways. And sometimes it has nothing to do with our work, but all of that richness and that experience comes back and does serve us through our work. Deepa, I would love to ask you, where do you think it would have taken you, or what do you think it would have changed had you explored a little bit more and been a little bit more adventurous in those years for yourself?
I think if I was a little bit more adventurous, I would have been a little bit more daring and talking up and having those uncomfortable conversations, and don't keep my thoughts and ideas to myself, but speak up, and don't have that inhibition of hierarchy and leadership. I would feel that experience would have helped me be more visible in my workplace, more vocal, and putting myself out, because of those exploration experiences and daring and adventurous being that. I think that would definitely help me in those. And then that will lead to more opportunities. Yeah, and new doors open up.
Absolutely. And I love this. The word that keeps coming up is courage. Courage. Like, these experiences would have fostered that courage to be more visible, to speak up in these opportunities, and then to lead to more opportunities from being visible and speaking up. And it probably would open even more doors. When do you
Yes.
think that those insights started to come through, or that you started to lean more in that daring spirit? Because you've had a very successful career regardless. So definitely along the way, there were definitely times of visibility and times of exploration that started to show up. When do you think that started to happen, and why?
Um, it is more of those things start happening. If you had built the personality early, then you would have seen the opportunities early and done it. In my case, that's why I'm giving that advice to the younger one. It's like it took time. For
Mhm.
me, it was hindsight. I was realizing things. I missed the opportunities, and picking up more mentors, coaches, and having a conversation and situational. Um, I mean, talking about a situation, how to handle it, like role playing, all those helped me understand, oh, these are the opportunities, and then started looking for those opportunities, and that helped me be more present, aware of the situation, taking the opportunities and enjoying my work, not feeling that, oh, I missed the opportunity, or a hindsight thinking about it, but rather taking the opportunities and moving forward with it.
Absolutely. I love that there were certain
Yeah.
mentors along the way. And even from those moments where there were missed opportunities, there were these insights that started to come through these missed opportunities, saying, wait a minute, no, no, no. There's got to be another way of doing this. And I love even the simple but such effective technique of using role play with mentors, of, how can I create more opportunities for myself and maybe even speak up and create, you know, in spaces where originally I wasn't taking advantage of what I had access to. Wow. It's
Yes.
it, it's potent, and it actually leads me to what usually is my second question on the PLA podcast is this piece around what were the greatest challenges of your career and how did they allow you to grow? And in some ways you've answered that, but is there anything else that comes up as I ask you this? What were the major challenges of your career and how did they allow you to grow? And the reason why I ask this, and I repeat this sometimes in the podcast, is I really believe that we grow through the difficulty. That is where the transformation really happens, and we end up opening these doors and having profound impact, or
Yeah.
gaining the experience. Yeah, I'd love to know.
Yeah. I I would say my greatest challenge in career was not at the workplace, but
Mm,
balancing the work-life balance, you know. That
wow.
was my greatest challenge. What I mean is, um, yes, I started my career. I was working through, I was 5 years into the workspace or 4 years into it. I have a child. Now, child comes through, and then I'm trying to put the family together, take care of the child. At the same time, I don't want a break in the career. But managing that was a little bit of a challenge for me. And of course, it's a newborn baby. At the same time, she was a unique baby. So it created my own challenges going. But the whole family was there to support me to that first hurdle of having a newborn baby, putting the family together. Me and my husband were so apart, like we were working in different cities. But because of the baby, we wanted to have a family together. I needed to move to a bigger city. So figuring it all of that, my whole family was there. Both sides of the parents, my husband was supportive, but it was still challenging for me. I felt like to figure this out. And the next challenge was also, okay, I'm settled. I got into the job and all that. But now it was the time to put the kid into the school and then build that next phase. But it was too challenging. She was too anxious.
Mm,
She was too anxious to let go and go to this school. So it was almost a point where I said, okay, I'm being a mean mom for this girl. I have to stay back. I need to quit the job. So it was painful, you know, like she would cry the whole day to be away from me. So that was really a challenging situation. Now it's like my career is at one line and my family and my child was on one line. Which one should I pick? It was like that. But again, I would say my family came together, understand the situation, and they helped me out to achieve what I wanted to achieve. But I had to go through that 6 months of struggle and balancing it and coming to that happy balance.
amazing.
Yeah.
And Deepa, I'm so touched by your story. And there's so many brilliant women that are building these very demanding careers, and they're so good at what they do, really, truly. And they do come to a crossroad when it's time to build a family, or they're balancing this family life, and the needs are there. And I would love to know, actually, this would be one of my follow-up questions is, what do you tell a young mom, like, what, having been through it and have gone through that experience? I know you brought up that piece around, it took family, it takes a village. It's not something that can be done alone. What would you say to a young mom that may be in a similar situation that you were in?
I would say start building your network. Start not the career network I'm talking about, the support network you
Ooh,
need to achieve that balance. It doesn't happen overnight.
yeah.
Build those relationships. Mm, Plan for that too. Just as you plan for your career, plan and build your network to get that support system. I would say that, and then keep that relationship, keep that support going. And then people are willing to help you out. Nobody is mean. Everybody is good. Everybody wants to help. And maybe not at a given time they are available. That's why you need a support system to build. And with that system, the overall system, if you plan it well, it should help out. So that is one of the tools. to do it
Love it.
with the family network. And there are professionals also. It's okay to give money and take the professional help, like the daycare or anything. So you need to look at all the tools and be open to doing something different to manage this.
Brilliant. I,
That's
I
what I
love
would
it.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Because oftentimes, we look for solutions, especially when we're so career driven. We're looking just in the direction of career instead of thinking, wait a minute, I need to feel supported in these other facets of my life that are so important to me, so I can go all in the projects, in the opportunities. And if I don't feel supported in, and I love this piece because we talk so much. LinkedIn, career, we talk about the professional network, the professional network, the professional network. And forget, no, our life and our personal life needs its own network, and it needs nurturing, and it needs, attention and building those relationships, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is also a significant part. But these days I'm noticing that personal relationship building is over dominated by the career building, but that is also needed to support the career, I feel.
Absolutely. I love it. And speaking of
Yeah.
support and using tools and, investing and feeling supported, a lot of people were talking about this conversation around AI and, looking at tools to be able to support us in our work, in our productivity, whether it's at home or in the office space. I'd love to know, what is your experience with using these tools right now and your perspective on it all?
The new tools we're talking about, the AI tools available and all. Yeah, actually, I'm enjoying it. Recently, I started using Copilot.
Mm,
In my office, the license was allowed. It it's being so liberating. I feel it helped my research go a little bit faster. It is like, my personal second assistant, I feel. It helps to get the research done, or any of the notes or training or any my productivity day-to-day activities. It helps me go so fast, and I take a step back and I say, can slack a little bit because my things are done so fast.
wow.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm enjoying it. So that's with day-to-day productivity of the tools. I've tried out so many productive tools over the years, but I think I'm enjoying the AI. It is was little bit frustrating in the beginning, getting used to it, but once I'm getting the hang of it, I'm really enjoying it. Like other yesterday, like, okay, we need to come up with resource management to build a case
Hmm.
for, do we need one more base resources and all that. Then for that we need to keep collecting data, and then we should be projecting and all that. Within half an hour I did it with the AI, and then I
Incredible.
can wait for 2 more days and then give it.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
but it's that the tension and then the analysis and that part is done. I'm now ready for the next conversation and the next step to be taken. So that way, I'm enjoying the tool. I would say, don't be scared to go for AI. And I think it will not replace, at least in the space I am, I feel it will not replace. It will more help you, and it'll be your personal assistant, like, I feel.
absolutely.
And then, yeah, in other space is like in discovery, I mean, drug discovery space. So there is
Mm,
a lot amount of data, and huge amount of data, and the relationship with it and everything is very hard. And to harness the data of it is very hard. But with AI, I can see that we can build natural language way of querying and doing the conversation and finding out more insights of the new drug identification and all that. If the ecosystem is built right, we can see more better drugs coming out faster. Those niche few patients who
mm,
need the drug, but because of the cost, and then the patient, well, sometimes those projects are not picked up. But I think they have hope now. It's like they can be picked up because the research will be, cost will be reduced. So those type of drugs which are resource intensive, but there is no return on investment, those spaces also can be looked at now, I feel.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's good for the humanity to get those drugs, I feel.
Totally. You're right. It's shrunk timeline and there's a lot less manpower involved in the process of bringing something from ideation or concept or need to market. I think there's something
Yeah.
definitely there. And like you said, for, niche situations and opportunities, especially with drug development, there's which will be amazing because it'll give a lot of people that have lost hope the opportunity of possibly having a solution, a resolution to what they're facing and dealing with.
Yeah. Yes, that is what I'm looking forward for. And it looks the opportunity is there, yeah, with AI.
It looks promising. We needed something to be able to look forward to and all of it. I have another technical question for you. With a civil engineering background, how did you transition your career into information technology?
Yeah, that's a very interesting journey. Like, as I said, I did my master's in civil engineering, but when I did this in this country in CMU, Carnegie Mellon University. But what happened was when I came to that country, and I got exposed to computers. I was not before. All my homeworks were being done in that, and then I was curious to see. I just walked into one of the classes, and then I was looking at the database class, and then another class which was more of CAD programming. I was very curious about it. Because the classrooms are open, I just went for 1 or 2 classes and I said, oh, okay, next semester I'm taking these classes. Then I went and took as electives those classes, and then they became more electives. And that way I built my interest and got a little bit of exposure to computer science. Then, when it came to career, I was not sure how to shape it. Um, that's where I think a little bit dared it. Okay, anyway, I can come back to civil engineering. Let me explore. And then there was more opportunities also in computer science. Any background, they're taking it. So I said, okay, let me go as a DBA and then try it out. So that's a little bit how I took the journey. But at the same time, my curiosity started building up, and that's how I slowly went into more of being a computer science. And from there, I also was a quality person too, and from my career took everywhere from that, I felt, but more in the technology space. Yes.
Wow, brilliant. And I love that from one background to the next and out of curiosity, how it opens so many doors and opportunities and being able to bridge the gap between industries and careers.
Yes. And the logical skill definitely helped me in solving
Mm.
logically the programming part of the things, putting the program behind. But now you can do with natural language. We don't have to complicatedly think through.
Yeah, times are changing and they're changing quickly, definitely in this industry,
Yeah.
probably more than most. Yeah, Deepa, I wanted to ask you, this is my favorite question to ask on the PLA podcast and will probably forever be, what is the legacy and impact you're still looking forward to leave behind in the world?
Yeah. When it comes to legacy, um, right now I am thinking more about this coming generation, my kids, as well as my parents or my mom, especially. So I want to make sure my kids are installed with good values and good moral compass. And hopefully, with that, they can make this world a better place and they can make better choices for them and not get into trouble. Um, that's what I'm looking. And for my parents, I think I want to be there. I want to be there for whatever comes forward. Right now, I was all busy with my own life, my career, my kids, but and I want to sort of set an example. It's like being far from parents, it's still okay. We can still take care, and ways and tools to look for to get. and take care of the parents.
Absolutely. You know, you speak to a generation, like we call it the sandwich generation, where you're caring for your parents and you're raising your children and how to be there. And I know that so many people can resonate with what you're sharing of living abroad while their parents, that is of an older generation and is starting to age, is living overseas, and how to be still supportive and in any way possible, whether it's like creating or finding tools or contributing in some ways to supporting them in however we can. And so I know so many people can probably resonate with what you've just shared. Definitely.
Yes, yes. And now I'm using the same strategy I used for my kid when they were younger. I'm trying to plan and network and all that to take care of my parents, even though they're far. And then how quickly and I can reach out to them and be there and putting the tools and everything being there. And hopefully soon I can be with them also. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it brings our conversation so full circle with like building a personal network. It's not just professionally, it's for the entirety of our life, especially for those that are those we care about. Those networks are extended to be able to support.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are on the
Definitely.
PLA. Yeah, we are on the PLA podcast. So Deepa, I'd love to ask you, what originally drew you to a community like PLA?
Yeah, PLA is an awesome community. I feel like, I wish I knew this community before. Uh, it, it is so energetic and motivational community. So I came across this, of course, through WhatsApp and then went through this 5 day session. And every day I was in that session, I was so energized and enlightened. It's about taking actions. It's not about just thinking, but it's making actions.
Mm,
So I felt in my life at this point, I was going into that rut of being
mm,
okay, being fine. I needed that motivation, that energy, the crazy 1%, I needed it. And I felt this is the group, it was giving me that. And that motivated me to join PLA. Yeah. And I don't regret. I enjoy the PLA family and the network in it. Yes.
that's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you're right. There's so many of us come across a season of our life. And it depends, for certain people it comes at different times, but that, a slight complacency. It's like I'm comfortable and things are good. And it's this reignition and this invitation of saying, wait a minute, don't I want a little bit more for myself? And that may not be for everybody, but for those that it speaks to, it sparks something brilliant inside and saying, wait a minute, there's more on the table and I'm after it.
Yes, exactly. My kids have grown up, they are independent. Now I can still grow. Now I have little less responsibilities. Why shouldn't I ignite my light and then burn it a little bit more with my career, you know?
I love this. I love this. And I think that that's a huge invitation, but that's also a testament. Let's be honest, Deepa. That's also a testament to your values and your willingness to continue to grow even after a very successful career and after raising beautiful, brilliant kids that are now, independent, etc. It's saying, no, you know what? I still have an evolution within me and ahead of me, and I want to make the most of it. And, that's a testament to your dedication and willingness to do so.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Abs-
And the good part is I was not getting it anywhere outside because of my age group I am in. I was missing that burning that one crazy person which I'm looking, and I'm glad PLA has started this and I'm in that group.
Oh, brilliant. Well, you fit right in, that for sure. And for those that are listening to this episode, and it's the first episode you're tuning into, and you haven't heard the other ones for whatever reason, I'm going to put out a QR code. And like I tell everyone, this is the QR code that leads to the exact training that Deepa's talking about that I've attended more times than I can count. It's incredible. And I always tell everyone, even if you never hear of PLA again and you attend just this workshop, you'll be blown away and you'll leave with a tremendous amount of value. So it's important to me to really share that with the public. In case you're curious, you can find all the information here. It's a free training. The founders are directly involved in being able to host it. They will walk you through so many great tools, like I said, that if you implement right away, you'll get tremendous amount of results on, even if you never hear of PLA again. So just wanted to put that out there for anyone who is curious and just wanted to find out a little bit more of where they could possibly attend if they'd like to. So amazing. Deepa,
Awesome.
it's been an absolute treat having you on the PLA podcast today and for your incredible story, your wisdom, and just a different perspective that we haven't heard on the podcast yet. So thank you, truly.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for hosting me and thank you for inviting me. And I enjoyed this session. It was a lovely conversation. And thank you, Dunya.
Oh, a true treat, Deepa. And we're looking forward to having you on again as a PLA podcast, a guest, hopefully in the near future. And to everyone that tuned in, thank you for your time and wishing you all a lovely evening.